Well, hey everybody, this is Chris DeFurio with Keys to the Shop, and welcome to another edition of Shift Break. Today's episode is brought to you by La Marzocco. They've been making espresso machines at La Marzocco by hand in Florence, Italy since 1927. They have been engaged in this industry for nearly 100 years, and in that time, they have firmly established themselves as kind of the cornerstone and quintessential espresso machine because of their beauty, dependability, craftsmanship, and innovation. You've got a lot of different machines to choose from in different configurations, from a lot of automation and technology, as well as a lot of manual configurations. La Marzocco is ready to help you select the right espresso machine for your cafe. So go ahead and email info@lamarzocousa.com. And also check out their website at lamarzocousa.com. You can look to see what's on offer. And if you want stability, if you want a company that is all about helping you be successful by providing you innovative and dependable equipment, then La Marzocco is the place to go. So go ahead and email them again, info@lamarzocousa.com. Today's episode is also brought to you by Rattleware. The thing about Rattleware is that they want to be in the backdrop of your cafe. They want to be the stage crew, if you will, through smallwares. Pitchers, shot glass, whisks, knock boxes, all the steel and glass and bits and pieces that make up the whole of your cafe. When one of those little things doesn't work, it's a big deal. And so they want to make smallware at Rattleware that just works. So go and check out their website, rattleware.com, and start to build that solid foundation of dependable smallwares that helps your cafe, your service, and your quality shine. Again, over at rattleware.com. Okay, everyone. Well, today on Shift Break, I wanted to cover a piece of a presentation that I usually give at Coffee Fest. By the time we're listening to this, it's already past Los Angeles Coffee Fest, and I hope that I got to say hello to quite a few of you there in LA. And so today it is all about embracing your space. And this is taking a little slide from my presentation on cafe design principles and chatting a little bit about it. And usually what we do is we talk about different ways to set up the workflow in the cafe. We've got episodes on this, and you can listen to those and follow the link in the show notes for more information. But specifically, at the end of all of the investigation and the details and the focus on getting it just right, you really, at the end of the day, are going to be limited by your space. And it's at that point that you have a decision to make. You can be upset about that you just don't have exactly the space that you want to do the thing you want to do, which, necessarily is going to limit certain design aspects of your business, certain menu items that you just don't have space to put on your bar. It's not even just something limited by the size on the small end of things. If you've got a space that's really huge, you're still limited, and it's not ideal to have more space because you're up against sort of an interesting problem of not having as much control over the feel of it, having it feel too cavernous, being a little bit too devoid of design, if you will. So it's not always just, hey, this space is too small for us to do all that we want. Sometimes it's that this space is so big, it's hard for us to live into it. So this is what we have a choice with, is we can say, hey, we're really kind of upset about this, and we are going to make these decisions, but necessarily we have to make these decisions, but we're not going to like it. And that way of looking at it, being frustrated by your space, I suppose, in continuing that, is going to bleed over into the way that we welcome people into the space. I always talk about this as the rather insecure barista that will apologize to the customer for what is actually a decent piece of latte art. So they say, well, it didn't turn out the way I wanted, so I'm sorry. So the customer is left holding the bag of emotions like, what do I do with this? I didn't order a latte plus your insecurity on the side. I ordered a latte. So celebrate what you can do. And it's exactly the same thing. That's the second choice. Once you've got to the place where you know you've done what you can with what you have, embrace it and celebrate it, and don't invest into more frustration than you need to. The key here is knowing that you've done what you can. And so with your space, it's important that you are very detail oriented. You are understanding, you build your bar based on the menu. So you've designed it with the best workflow in mind. It works because you've walked through it. You've designed what you can within the budget that you have. And now you have this space. Now, there might be in the future some other space that opens up the possibilities for you. But like we have talked about prior in a shift break, a couple shift breaks ago, are you growing with your business? Constraints in your cafe's development and you being able to realize your plans are blessings in disguise in a way because they force you to have to mature in a few things that you do have rather than you just getting what you want and not being able to mature fast enough across a host of things. I find that for me, when I see all the things I want to do, there's a limited amount of time and attention that I have. And so I have to devote that time and attention to what is available to me to make good on. And I become the type of person who can handle more things later on. So if you put that idea into the form of your business, your cafe, once you have mastered the simple expression and the constrained expression of your cafe in the space that you have, then you have more or less kind of earned the right to add things to it without threatening the security of those things, of the foundations, and it will be more stable. So, a second location, when you open it up, it might be larger than what you have now. You can do more, but the ability for you to do more well is depending on how well you embraced what you have currently, right? So that is the message here today is that no matter what space you have, if you've renovated a garage, a mop closet, or a warehouse space, there's going to be some limitations that you have, and it's okay. You know you've done it what you can. Embrace it as now the thing that will help shape you and your business into the type of entity and professional that will be able to handle more opportunity later on with greater security. And you can celebrate that too when it happens, but you got to get in the habit of doing it now. And really, confidence looks great. You know, even if there's a little problem with, oh, I don't like the way the walls look or the texture or something that I couldn't do because of it's a historic landmark. So we couldn't, change the doors or something like that. Confidence in your space looks good and it makes up for whatever thing you feel self-conscious about. That's how style works. I think I'm not like the stylish guy over here, but if I was pretty confident in wearing something stupid looking, I bet you'd be like, wow, he really owns that. So if you own a coffee bar, own it, just own it and work your way up from there. So that's all I have to share with you today. Thanks so much for joining me on the show. If you have any questions, email chris@keystotheshop.com. And also don't forget, Keys to the Shop has this coaching program. It's a mastermind group of coffee shop owners called Key Holder Coaching Groups. Is starting later September. We're taking applications now for people to join this group. It is 6 people join together over the course of 6 months. We do very focused sessions to focus on each other's problems and help give encouragement, accountability, solutions. It's really dynamic and has been transformative for so many coffee shop owners. So if you are an experienced coffee shop owner and you don't want to be isolated anymore, you want to be in community with others, and this is one of the things I hear often about the group that's so beneficial, then let's talk. Let's have a conversation. You could either email me, chris@keystotheshop.com, or you can just go right to the application link in the show notes and sign up from there. And this would be probably one of the last opportunities that you'll have to sign up for the group, as we are going to be making selections early September for the group. And so I hope I get to chat with you. So that is it. Thank you so much. And as always, we'll be back next week with another edition of Shift Break, from Keys to the Shop.